Hey everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my next video. Today we have got another Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 build video for you. And today we've got a build that I like to call the Little Rider. Now, this guy is pretty awesome, especially seeing as he's kind of a charging master. So let's get into what to do with this build. I'm going to do the first 20 levels of this build, and from there, there's a lot of options to go for the epic. So we're going to talk about epic options too. So first off, you got to be halfling of some kind, because that is a requirement for one of these prestige classes that you're going to be taking. But you're going to want 5 levels of paladin and 4 levels of ranger. And of course, you want the devoted tracker feat so that your the levels can stack, mostly for the purposes of making your animal companion and your special mount the same, which is also why we pick those specific numbers of levels of each, because that is when paladin gets special mount and when ranger gets animal companion. So you take just enough to get those on both of them. Then you're going to want to take, it doesn't really matter the order that you take these so much, because really you should be able to qualify for any of those after these 9 levels. But the ones you're going to want is you're going to want 1 level of Beastmaster, because that'll buff up your animal companion, give him, effectively 4 more levels of Druid, bring you from a 4th level Druid a 2nd level Druid effectively. Yeah, only a 2nd. Wow. All the way up to a 6th. So that'll make it way, way stronger. Now, you're going to want 2 levels of Wild Plains Outrider. And I would put those onto... I think it would probably go better on the to add to your Druid level for Animal Companion than it would for Special Mount. But you can go either way. I didn't look at which one's better. They're fairly similar. But yeah, you can go either way on that to see which way you want to buff him. But you got to pick which one. Excuse me. Then I would do... you want to throw in 4 levels of Cavalier at some point in there. Because with that... and you only want 2 levels of Wild Plains Outrider. Because, well... the 3rd level isn't going to matter because of the next 2 prestige classes. The fact that what you get for 3rd level, you'll get with both of these, and it doesn't stack, so you're wasting it on one of them anyways. I'm not sure I don't think you get it yet at this build. Not by 20th level, you won't get it till like later, but you will get it. So, yeah. So anyways, you want 4 levels of Cavalier. That way you're going to be able to... you're going to be able to get a lot of your better stuff with that. Get a lot of really good charging benefits, all that fun stuff. And then 3 levels of Halfling Outrider, which is the reason why you have to be a Halfling. This way you're going to get a bunch of other different charging benefits. The main difference, the main thing is you get all sorts of different things between all of these, which is really nice. Beastmaster just buffs up your mount, which is great. All of these buff your mount in some way or another. So your mount's going to be real beefy and real hard to kill, which is good because you're going to rely on that thing a lot. So with Wild Plains Outrider, that's going to let you add a bunch of your stealth skills to it, as well as a number of other things. Gives you an extra 10 feet of movement to him. Just gets you a lot of really cool stuff. Cavalier, it'll let you boost how fast you can move him. You get a bonus when you charge. Halfling Outrider, of course, you can charge through allies, which is why you really want those 3 levels of Halfling Outrider, so that you can charge through allies, because that's a really, really big one. Yeah. Because that comes up a lot, where you want to charge at the enemy, but your friend's in the way, and it's just a pain to try and maneuver around that. Being able to not have to deal with that is just nice. Wild Plains Outrider also gets you an extra 10 feet of movement to your mount, which makes the abilities of the other 2 classes just better. It's just really, really good. Everything just kind of stacks. There's a lot of really good synergy between everything. Now, if you're going into Epic, first thing I'd recommend you do is up those levels of Cavalier. or maybe do a little Wild Plains Outrider. Really, not Wild Plains, Halfling Outrider. My bad. Keep Wild Plains Outrider to never take that 3rd level. But yeah, because you can get some good archery stuff from that 4th level. If you want to go archery, grab that 4th level. Yeah, for sure. At some point, you'll want to grab all 10. That way, you can just make a turn. Definitely worth it. Grabbing at some point. But the one you really want to go with is Cavalier, because at 10th level you get more. You get just bigger bonuses on your charging. Other things you can do is you could take some more levels of Ranger, get some bonuses on that. Not a bad option, in all honesty. Your Ranger style, honestly, I think you should go ranged just because of the Halfling Outrider stuff. Probably the better option in all reality. There's not like with Halfling Outrider, you get some nice benefits to have a ranged option. Most of this is for charging with the lance, but 2-weapon fighting doesn't really help with that too much. So yeah, I would say probably better off with that. Now, what you could do at that point, you could. There are some issues. Most of these prestige classes do let you continue as a paladin. However, not all of them do. The Halfling Outrider being the one exception. And that one's a little bit of a problem case. It is nice though, because it does advance both your druid level and your paladin level for your animal companion and mount, so it makes you your mount way beefier. It's definitely good to take for that reason. So that's another reason why you might go Halfling Outrider, is just to make the mount beefier. Although it's probably fairly beefy at this point anyway, so I think Cavalier is a little more important. But probably go Cavalier, finish off Cavalier first, then finish off Halfling Outrider, or maybe take that 4th level of Halfling Outrider first. I don't know. It's up to you. Anyways, once you've got all of that, Halfling Outrider also, I think, gets slightly better bonuses for ride checks than Cavalier, which don't stack, unfortunately. Wild Plains Outrider also gets it, and those, again, don't stack. Not by rules as written. Maybe you can talk your DM into it. If you can, awesome. Your ride check's going to be insane. But anyways, you could go with epic versions of these. Might not be bad. I'm not sure what those epic versions would look like, if they'd be any good. Another option is if you're just your standard Lightfoot Halfling, you could always go with your plus. You could always just start going Rogue, taking levels of Rogue with those 2 levels of Halfling, not Halfling, Wild Plains Outrider. You can use your a lot of all your stealth rolls while for your horse while riding it. Which is amazing. The fact that you can ride your horse and sneak like a rogue, that is really good, actually. Plus adding some sneak attack onto that's certainly not a bad idea. There's some definite reasons to do that. Other things that you could do, if you don't want to go with the stealth, suddenly start turning into a stealth build at epic levels, which isn't a bad option to be a not a stealth build and then suddenly go stealth once you hit epic. Kind of cool. And high epic at that. You're probably looking at into the level 30s before you start doing that. But another thing you could do is, instead of going the standard Lightfoot Halfling, you could go with Tundra Halfling, which has Ranger as a prestige class, not as a favorite class. So then you could just go straight Ranger, because normally you can only do 2 before you hit the experience penalty, because you got to keep it within the same number of levels as your Paladin. But if Ranger's now your favorite class, well, guess what? Now you can advance it as much as you want, no big deal. Yeah, so that's definitely a pretty nice thing. Yeah, and you would definitely want to, if you're doing this build and you're not doing the Tundra one, you're going to need to take that devoted tracker feat early, because if not, you're not going to be able to get back into Paladin without taking the penalty. So you're going to have to go you're going to have to, a 3rd level once you've got one level of paladin or one level of ranger and then one in one or the other. I'd just go paladin ranger, or just to keep it balanced, go paladin ranger, paladin ranger, paladin ranger, and then finish off with paladin, since there's one more level paladin. But however you want to do it, it doesn't matter. You only need one level of each to qualify for it. But yeah, you'll want that at third level. That way you stay within one level of the two, so that you're not taking the penalty, and you don't have to worry about going back into paladin. Though I don't know if you can. I guess that might not work. I mean, you might have to do. Yeah, you might have to do. Because yeah, you wouldn't be able to take that second level paladin. So maybe do 2 paladin, then 1 ranger, because 2 paladin's really good. It's just a really good idea to do 2 paladin. Anyways, yeah, that's basically the build. Pretty nice for what it's designed to do. It's really good at charging. You're going to want to try and find a mount that's pretty fast, that's medium-sized. Not sure how many good medium-sized mounts there are, particularly fast ones. I know horses are large size, but I mean, you could always do a small horse like a pony, or you can do a riding dog. There's a lot of options. Yeah, you have a ton of options, and what's nice about that is you can ride them into dungeons pretty easily. Like, unlike a horse, which is kind of tricky to get into a dungeon, to take it up and down stairs and all that fun stuff. It's much less of an issue with like a riding dog. You know, they're much smaller animals. They can handle stairs a little bit better. Not as good as a human, admittedly, but because you know, quadrupeds just struggle with stairs to begin with. You could always even try and get a flying mount too. Medium-sized flying mount would be pretty cool, and wouldn't have issues with stairs, since they can just fly up them, and wouldn't have too much issues with doors and stuff either, since they can just fly through most doorways. So yeah, that's one nice advantage of this. So yeah, that's basically my build. As I said, I call it the Little Rider. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like. Maybe subscribe to the channel for more D&D 3.5 videos. Ring that notification bell so you never miss out on a video. As always, I'm Mitch. I'll be seeing you.